Why would a child come in to be abused? But then again, we don't know the long-term journey of that awareness, or why maybe that experience would come to it, because we don't know what is happening in the journey, or what has happened in the journey before it entered this reality for a few score, 3 years, 10 or whatever. So these questions are basically, you know, on the back burner in a way, waiting for more information. And of course, when we leave this reality, what we call death, and we remove ourselves from the shell, suddenly we'll go, oh, I can see why that happened now. But we can't here, because we're seeing the next turn on the river instead of the whole journey from source to sea. But take someone like Cathy O'Brien. Cathy O'Brien had a horrendous childhood of unbelievable satanic and pedophile abuse and torture in mind control projects. Had a nightmare life right into her 30s till she got was helped out of it and what have you. And we still communicate often. And I started to really understand the scale of what went on behind the scenes in terms of Satanism, pedophilia, torture, mind control. Initially, I've done enormous amounts of research since, but initially because of Cathy O'Brien and a book she wrote called Transformation of America. If she had not gone through that abuse and come out to tell the tale, we would be way back down the road in knowing what's going on behind the scenes. So in her case, and there'll be other reasons for different people, I guess, but in her case, or not I guess, there will be, her taking that nightmare has brought to public attention things that we would never have known about otherwise. And it's like in the Matrix, one of the Matrix movies, where Neo indicates to the Oracle he wouldn't have made that choice. He wouldn't have made the choice of this or whatever. And the Oracle said, but you've not come here to make a choice. You've already made it. You've come here to understand why you made the choice. And the difficulty is that that which is trying to understand why it made a choice is limited by the lens of the physical body and the body computer system, which allows it to experience this reality. And it's trying to understand a choice made in a state of disembodied consciousness and massively expanded consciousness. That's very difficult. It's like, again, using this analogy, it's like being in a canoe on the river. You can only see the next turn, and you're trying to understand a choice made by something that can see the whole journey from start to finish. I mean, it's very difficult. But the more you expand your awareness, the closer you get to that level which made the choice, the more you start to understand why you made the choice, why you're doing this. And unfortunately, most people, it's changing, but most people are still in a closed-minded state where they will not even begin to understand the choice or even accept they've made one to experience something they don't like. And the commentators on life also are in a closed-minded state. And they're saying this is happening because of that, and that's happening to him because of that. But they don't know. They're only perceiving that from the program level of this reality that they've been subjected to in the period they can remember. And so there are so many things happening in the world, constantly, minute by minute, collectively and individually, that we perceive from a certain point of observation. This is why it's happening, it's her fault, it's his fault, they're to blame and all the rest of it. But they don't know, and we don't know, and I don't know, what the big picture reason is for those things happening collectively and individually. And when we know, we'll know when we leave the body, we'll know a lot more before we do, the way things are going too, we will have a completely different perspective of the things that we see in a certain way today. And it will be shocking how different the reason for experience is compared with what we thought it was.